And good morning at 7:04 on this Thursday, July 18th. It's time to head to Studio B for Coleman and Company.
Well, hello, everybody, and welcome. Here we are on a Thursday morning. A little bit of rain has fallen. Maybe we will get some more, but we're on the air each Thursday at this time for Bates Ford, 1780 Franklin Road, the dealer that'll trade for anything it don't eat. We've got Paul Tubbs with us today. Paul is here and Ronnie Kelly is not, but Paul's the general manager. And good morning to you.
Good morning.
Nice to see you again. Little rain out there.
Yeah, we needed it. Golf course is dry. Ball's rolling too far.
If the golf course is dry, we need rain. Absolutely. Yeah. Well, you got it all to talk about today, but of course we talk a lot about the dealer to trade for anything that don't eat. You've been doing that since about 08, 09.
Yeah, and we've been really successful. You know, just within the last week to 2 weeks, we've actually traded for and sold a boat, 2 campers. We've got a big trailer a guy had. It's like a 50-foot trailer that we traded. A guy had it, not using it, and we ended up taking it in. That's the only one we've got left. Generally, when we do that stuff, we turn it pretty quick, but we've sold 2 campers and a boat within the last 2 weeks, so it's kind of crazy.
Anybody that's got anything of that nature they want to get rid of, you're ready to deal.
Yeah, Tony loves that kind of stuff. Lawnmowers, boats, campers, trailers, whatever it is. We certainly step up and put a number on it. Motorcycles. We have a lot of people that, has Harleys and stuff. Had a customer come in the other day and had one sitting in the garage, hadn't been using. And we put a number on it and see what happens from there.
Yeah. Well, and like you say, they don't say somebody wants to get rid of them, but somebody else wants one.
Right. And, what we'll do is we'll certainly advertise, put a number on it, and put it towards your vehicle. So if you got something like that laying around that you want to turn into cash, or, if, we'll buy it if you don't want to trade for a vehicle, or we'll put it towards a vehicle.
Well, as far as inventory, still good?
Very good. Our new inventory is really good. We've got a lot of new stuff coming in. Ford's put some great incentives on some 23s because the 24 models are moving in. There's several rebates, 0% interest. I've seen where the Explorer, they were coming out with $4,000 rebate and 0% interest on 60 months. And we do have a lot of what we do is in loaner program through that Ford Courtesy Transportation Program. We'll put they're actually our loaner vehicles that we loan people that purchase vehicles from Bates Ford. And then once them vehicles get 3,000 miles, 3 to 4, we'll take them out of the program. And actually, there's extra incentives. You get all the brand new rebates on it, plus you get the loaner money. Generally, it's a couple $1,000s worth of loaner funds. And then you can also get the incentives. And what Ford does is they extend the warranty on them vehicles for 6 months or 6,000 miles. So rather than being a 336 warranty, you'll get a 42,000 mile warranty. So it's really kind of a great program.
Yeah, that's really good to know. Well, we also, when you're here, we always talk about the service work that you do, and you have the cheapest oil change in town, and that's still going.
Yep, $39.95 up to 5 quarts, synthetic blended. We can't do full synthetic. Some vehicles do. We want to put the proper oil in vehicles. Our service department's really booming. We've got our pickup and delivery. Shelly's doing a great job of that. If you got something that you need to get serviced, or battery, brakes, tires, anything like that, and you can't bring it to Bates Ford, if you'll call and ask for Shelly Billy, she'll actually set it up where, we're doing 6 to 7 a day where we'll come to pick up a vehicle, bring it back, service it. We've got a lot of people that has recalls. They'll get a recall letter in the mail. If you want to get your recall took care of, just give us a call. We'll certainly put you on the schedule. We'll come get it, perform the recall, bring it back to you. So that program's really booming. We've got a mobile service. We're doing certain things. We're not necessarily doing oil changes off-site. I just felt like that could get messy, so we just, you got to have approvals and certain things with homeowners associations, and there's a lot that goes into that. But, if you got a recall or certain things, we're going off-site and doing that. We're actually coming and doing it at your house. Battery, wipers, certain things we can do, bulbs, we can do off-site. So we do have a mobile service vehicle, too, that she schedules in to do mobile service, and then we also do pickup and delivery.
Is that relatively new, your mobile service? I mean, to come and to my house and fix my windshield wipers, for example?
Yeah, that's a program Ford's implemented. It's been going on about a year, and there's actually a certain amount of service work that we're required to do through our pickup and delivery and our mobile service.
Okay.
And
but they're similar, but not exactly the same, the mobile service and the pickup and delivery.
Right. It's it's a remote service is what Ford calls it. And, right now we're into where we're doing most of our mobile services, a lot of recalls, batteries, certain things like that we can do off-site. Then if it gets something deeper, we'll certainly say, hey, we're going to put you on the pickup and delivery and try to get it here and do the work at Bates Ford.
And speaking of batteries, you've got a great deal on batteries.
Yep, $179.95. Ford's got the best warranty in the market, 3 years free replacement. They got a 100-month proration, so within the first 3 years, if the battery goes bad, Ford will replace it free of charge. Also, if, we have to tow it or something like that's included in your warranty. And then once the 3 years is expired, then they prorate it for up to 100 months, which is a great deal.
And a few seconds here to talk about tires. You're going to beat anybody's price there.
Yep, we'll meet or beat anybody's price. You buy a set of tires from Bates Ford, we'll give you lifetime rotation for the life of the tires. Ford meets or beats anybody's price, and there's rebates up to $100 on certain sets of tires. You don't have to necessarily come to Bates Ford to get a price on tires. We've got a little tire sales tool on Ford's website. You can call us, give us either your vehicle make or model or the size of your tires. We can look at them. If we don't have them, we can have them, within the next day. Bring the vehicle in, we'll get it took care of. If you don't want to bring it in, you can certainly call Shelly for our pickup and delivery, and she'll send somebody to get it. We'll mount and balance your tires and bring your car right back to you.
And service with a smile.
That's it.
Thanks for being with us.
Yes, sir.
See you
Thank
next
you.
week.
Yes, sir.
Paul Tubbs, he's the general manager for Bates Ford, 1780 Franklin Road, the dealer. Don't trade for anything it don't eat. 10 and a half after the hour, and this is the Thursday that Jeff Baines with the City of Lebanon sends me a guest. Occasionally we see Jeff, but most of the time he actually sends someone that he is supervising, has something to do with the City of Lebanon. And this morning, we're glad to have Paul Corder with us. Paul, good morning.
Good morning.
The planner, I believe, is your title.
Yep. Planning director for the City of Lebanon.
Good to have you with us again. And we've got somebody else we're going to introduce in a moment, too. How are things with you?
Good. Everything's going
Staying
well.
busy?
Yep.
What are you busiest on right now?
Well, my wife just went to England and she got back this week. So the beginning of the month, I was busy taking care of everything at the house without her. I tried to convince the 6-year-old that the house runs better without her, but she said, no, we forget things.
Well, how long have you actually been with the City of Lebanon?
I've been with the City of Lebanon 11 and a half years, almost 12 years.
Yeah. You enjoy what you do?
I do, yeah. I my daughter's in drama, and she asked me what I like to, what my art is, what I like to do, and I said, I make cities, but sometimes somebody comes with a crayon and scribbles on my artwork.
Well, I'm going to let you introduce the guest, the other guest that we have this morning, who is, I think this is his first time for me to meet him and to be on the radio with us this morning.
Yes, this is Josh Staley. He's one of our planners at the city as well.
Josh, good morning to you.
Good morning. Thanks for having me.
You were actually here. You beat Paul and me both this morning, but that's okay.
I did, yes.
Tell us a little bit about you, and then I've got something that I'm going to tell about you that you don't know about, but it's real good. But where are you from, and how'd you get here?
Yeah, so I grew up in Pennsylvania, about an hour outside of Philadelphia. I came down to Tennessee about 10, 11 years ago. Went to Belmont University in Nashville, did my undergrad there. Then left for a couple years, went to Seattle for 2 years. My wife did her master's at University of Washington. Then we went down to Florida for 2 years, where I did my master's at Florida State, and then got the job up here at the city a little over 3 years ago, and been here ever since.
All right, I want you to turn around and look at the lady behind you there doing the gator chop. Does that tell you anything?
Nope.
Well, and one of her favorite sayings is, "Oh, how I hate Florida State."
It is a bitter rivalry, that's for sure.
You've heard all that before.
Oh, yes.
Well, good to have you. I want to read, Jeff Baines sent me a little email, and I printed this off, and it says, Coleman Planning Director Paul Corder and Planner 2 Josh Staley will be your guests. I advise Josh to be prepared to answer all your questions regarding family, where he grew up, how he got to Lebanon, etc. Very proud of Josh. He works hard and serves the community well. Thanks, Jeff. That's nice.
It is. Thank you, Jeff.
Well, what do you do? You work closely with Paul, right?
I do. Yeah, Paul's our director. It's me, and then we have one other planner, Christy. We do whatever Paul needs us to do. We're always going, meeting with different property owners, residents, see what they want to do, any concerns they have, answer, prep for meetings. We review a lot of different plans. Anyone wants to build anything, we're getting our eyes on that, making sure they're meeting all the codes and rules, keep things safe and moving forward correctly.
And you are dealing with a lot of growth here.
Yeah, a little bit. You could say that.
What's the biggest thing we need to talk about this morning?
Well, there's several things we can talk about. We brought Josh here because there's going to be a study on the bypass around Lebanon, and so I wanted to let him talk a little bit about what's going on with that.
Okay, well, I just look at the clock and it's time to take a break. Time's already flying by this morning, but we'll talk about the bypass and future plans when we come back. This is Coleman and Company, FM 98.9.
And let's see what's happening on the roadways. Want to thank Bates Ford. Get a battery installed on most vehicles. $149.95. Bates Ford, 1780 Franklin Road. Now at traffic, here's Chuck.
Good morning. They were cleaning up that wreck over near B&A Airport a few minutes ago on Donaldson Pike right at I-40. Hopefully they'll get that all straightened out because it's busy over there this time of the morning. It continues to run heavy on 24 westbound up through the Antioch area, coming in from Murfreesboro, Rutherford County, as it picks up with more volume over here on 65 southbound right at Trinity Lane. Prince's Hot Chicken has new items on the menu. Check them all out today. Order online at princeshotchicken.com. I'm Commander Chuck with your on-time traffic.
Renewal happens here at Lebanon Center for Rehabilitation and Healing. Lebanon Center for Rehabilitation and Healing has experienced new leadership and a new atmosphere. Same location in the heart of Lebanon, 731 Castle Heights Court on the Castle Heights campus. Lebanon Center for Rehabilitation and Healing is providing 5-star clinical outcomes to short-term and long-term care residents. Call 615-444-4319 for a tour and to experience the new culture. Renewal happens here at Lebanon Center for Rehabilitation and Healing.
What is your passion? How can you use that passion to enrich your community? Hi, this is Melanie Minter, President and CEO of the Lebanon-Wilson County Chamber of Commerce. Your chamber is the resource for making connections to fulfill your passion. Whether education, nonprofit, agriculture, entertainment, or government relations, Wilson County offers a place for you to be involved. Your chamber connects businesses, individuals, and your passion to the community. We have an enthusiasm for excellence. Join us and catch the spirit. Call or visit our office at 149 Public Square in Lebanon.
Coleman and Company, thanks for joining us here on this Thursday morning. Let me remind you that you can clean out your closets and lend a helping hand to the Lebanon Senior Citizen Center. Drop off your donations at 670 Coles Ferry Pike. And they're going to be having a sale on July 27th from 7 a.m. to 1 p.m. A quick reminder of the legendary Friday Night Lights Lebanon football camp coming up this Friday, July 19th, 7 to 9 p.m. And the Wilson County Black History Committee will host the 26th anniversary. Guest speaker will be Dr. Charlie Edward McAdoo. They'll be celebrating the Lebanon Clowns Negro League baseball team and honoring Ms. Frankie Price with the Chip Price Athletic Award. And this event is Sunday, July 28th, 3 p.m. at Pickett Rucker, UMC. That's United Methodist Church, 633 Glover Street in Lebanon. All right, back to our guest, Paul Corder and Josh Staley. And let's get going to this bypass study. So Josh, you've been commissioned to do this. Now, what are you studying actually? We know about the bypass Baddour Parkway, but you're talking about possibly extending it or revising what already exists, or both.
Sure. Yeah, we were fortunate enough to get a grant from TDOT recently to conduct this study. We're looking at the existing bypass that's there from where it starts on Main Street all the way down to 40. So that whole span. And we're really looking at a few things on how to improve it, how to increase the vehicle flow through there. It is, of course, a bypass to try to get people to move through the town a little quicker than they can on Main Street. So if you're not visiting any of the great businesses down there, don't live in the center of town, give you a great option to get through the city pretty quickly. And also move all the truck traffic through. We don't really want to see as many trucks through the square as we get right now, so give them an easier option to get where they're going without going through the square. And then also deal with a lot of safety issues on there. There's some lanes that just kind of disappear and weave in and out, and that's not great. And it's not easy to understand for people if they haven't driven it before. So safety is a big part as well.
What would be the ideal thing, I guess, would be to either have 3 lanes or 5 lanes all the way through. But tell us about that.
Yeah, I think that's something that we're hoping to get out of this study. We haven't really gotten a final recommendation yet, but
5 lanes too.
I don't think we know that yet. I think especially through the middle of town, through like the High Street section, that wouldn't really be an appropriate way to handle it. There's just not enough space there, and there's a lot of pedestrians, so 5 lanes may be a bit much. But out towards like the interstate or down near Lebanon Road, a bigger section might make more sense.
How long is this study gonna take you to perform?
Yeah, so right now we're working with the TDOT and then also their consultants that they hired to help with it. We're doing some data collection right now. We're hoping to do some public engagement, like end of August, early September, have some public meetings about that, and then get some final report end of the year, beginning of next year.
You have much input from citizens, from people who travel that there. Everybody's got some kind of idea, I guess.
Yeah, absolutely. That's something we're definitely going to do. Like I said, near the end of August, early September, we don't have an exact date yet. We're going to host probably an open house or public meeting of some sort to gather public opinion, get invite as many stakeholders as we can to get everybody's input.
So this is just kind of getting underway.
Right. It's still in the very early stages, but it's going to be a fairly quick process, like I said. But early next year, we hopefully will have a final report.
Well, if we come up with some sort of plan on how difficult or how soon, or is it even possible, we'll get that implemented.
Well, yeah, there's some things when we do studies, some things are just low-hanging fruit, and we can just get those things taken care of really fast. Then there's some other things that take a lot of money, and they take years, and there's going to be probably a few things that come up in the study we think is a good idea that will never get done. But that's the way studies go. Usually the low-hanging fruit is really the most important stuff that we can act on right away.
Okay, let's talk about 231 sidewalks. We've heard about this a while, I think. Where are we?
Yeah, we've just let this project out to bid. So we've been working on it. We had a plan. We've been getting money from the state. 231 is obviously a state, really a federal highway. And going on the north, really Mike's Foodland. I know it is Al's Foodland, but it's Mike's Foodland now. South to Coles Ferry, that area where the sidewalks stop. We see a lot of people walking. We see a lot of people biking. It's just not a really ideal place. So we're going to get some sidewalks put in there with the help of the state, and that's just about to get underway.
We depend on the state for quite a number of things, I guess.
We do, although if it's their road, a state highway or a federal highway, we get to lean on them a little bit more than our local streets.
All right. Another thing we could talk about is recent code improvements, automobile uses and mail kiosks.
Yeah. So we've been improving our design standards. These are slow to get to see because, they're just implemented, but, we're moving with townhomes and single family homes. We're dealing with parking. Townhomes, we're trying to get parking to go in the rear or the side. We see so many that are just in the front, and it just looks odd. That's not how townhomes traditionally look. But we've also got a mandate from the post office to do mail kiosks all in one spot for every new development. So we've just implemented some new design, new regulations for that, so that they have to be within a quarter mile of homes and ADA accessible and provide the parking that they need, and a shelter so you don't have your mail's not all wet as soon as you pick it up.
Well, now I take it this is mainly going to affect new construction, new homes, this sort of thing.
Yeah, and the way it kind of works is if it's already been approved, if it's already underway, then the new rules that we put into place don't affect those new things. But we feel like there's going to be enough growth coming. It'll affect the new things that come in, anything that comes in afterwards. That's why it's sometimes takes a while to see what we're doing, but hopefully in the future, all the projects will be better and better.
You had any complaints about that to speak of?
We get complaints. We had some developers who really just didn't think they could get it to work, but we we looked at existing developments and showed examples of what we were doing works in other developments. So it seems like it will. But in general, we get a lot of complaints about how much growth the city's getting. That's just a common feature.
Well, if you joined us late, Paul Corder is my guest, who's our city planner, along with Josh Staley, who's one of the Lebanon planners as well. Planner 2, I believe, is your title, right?
That's correct, yes.
Anything you want to add to what we've talked about so far? You've been listening more than talking, really.
Sure, yeah. I mean, I think Paul's doing a great job here. But, I guess the other thing you mentioned was the auto use code changes that were made recently. We had a lot of people pushing back on all the car washes, oil change places. We're seeing used car lots. We wanted to address that, make it so they can go in less places, and if they do go places, have a higher threshold of standards they have to meet to be able to operate here.
Actually, I have a list of things here we could talk about, and at the top of the list was WeGo Star Meeting Summary. Now, a WeGo Star Meeting was held, I take it.
Yep, there was a WeGo Star meeting yesterday, and there's a proposal and that they're coming to the end of the study, so this is kind of their results. They propose some ideal solutions for timing, and there's some low-hanging fruit, looking at possibly doing more Saturday trips. They know that the Friday night trip was something that people liked, but they're also looking at making all the trains come to Lebanon, which is not happening right now. They'll stop in Mount Juliet and go back, so increase the trips here, but also providing maybe a bus during the midday. So if you get downtown and you can't get back on the train, there'll be a bus that that can take you in the midday. And a lot of the short low hanging fruit, adding Saturday trips, but longer range, maybe a couple years, so not 10 years, but a couple years, improving Martha. So that the trains can pass, and that'll allow us to get all the trains coming out here. So there's some things that are really in that study that are going to really help Lebanon with train service.
Well, Josh, I guess you've gotten at least a little bit familiar with the train, and that's something we have, and I don't think it's there for other communities. I don't know if they're not really set up with a railroad track to have something like this, are they?
Yeah, we're the only train in the Nashville area. Nobody else. CSX controls a lot of the other lines. We happen to have a short line, and we can work with them a little bit better. And so we have this opportunity, and a lot of other communities are jealous of us for that.
Well, another thing I want to touch on for a second here, pedestrian priorities plan. I don't know anything about this, and actually it says here, are we allowed to talk about that publicly yet?
Yeah, I guess it's the first time, so we'll just jump in, I guess. It's something we've been working on internally for a little while now. I think we always hear big demand for sidewalks here, sidewalks there, and there's a lot of places in the city that need it. So our goal as a city staff was to figure out what the highest priorities were, where they would serve the most good. It's something that we're still ironing out the final details on, but hope to bring public here in the near future so we can get some more input from the citizens, and then hopefully get council to act on that so they have some guidance when they do want to fund some sidewalk projects in the future.
And there's also going to be trails in that. We're looking at trails as well. And the big thing about this is that the study allows us to get more of that state money to help pay for this stuff. So we're identifying where we think they're going to be in the short term, maybe some long term, but hopefully once this is done, the federal and state money could come in a little bit more and help us get more sidewalks, more trails.
All right. Another thing here is the Five Oaks and Franklin Road annexations. Talk about that.
Yeah, there's I think Rick Bell was on here talking about the annexation down at Franklin Road. That was a pretty big thing at the city council. And then next Tuesday, there's going to be a request for an annexation just to the east of Five Oaks. There's a new development there. We've been getting a lot of comments, pro and against, on that one. So that's going to be a big project at the next Planning Commission meeting.
You no doubt have an idea of what ought to be done or ought not to be done from time to time. Do you get to express it much, or do you have to stay neutral on all this?
I express it quite often. There's definitely ways to do things. We're always looking out for the financial good of the city. There's sometimes it's good for one person, not good for another person. So there's conflict, and then we have to just look out for the city. We want to be responsible with the taxpayer money. So if it's going to be a waste of money, if it's going to be something that's going to be, a liability in the future, we're going to be cautious about it. If we see something that we can do and it's going to be an asset to the city, we're going to be, more excited about doing something like that.
Well, we've come to the end of our time here. We've flown by this morning, but Paul Corder, thank you for being with us, and Josh Staley, it's nice to meet you. Nice to have you in Planner 2. We no doubt will have both of you back again one of these days. So thanks for being with us today.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you.
That is part one of Coleman and Company. We've got more. Hope you'll keep it right here, FM 98.9.
And let's see what's happening on the roadways. Thanks to Absolute Kubota. They have a deal designed to keep you ahead of schedule. Check out the world's #1 selling compact excavator plus 0% financing going on now until the end of the year. Absolute Kubota, 1506 West Main. Now at traffic, here's Chuck.
Good morning. They were moving a stalled truck a few minutes ago on 24 eastbound just past Shelby. It's had traffic a little bit slow there between Ellington Parkway and the Sullivan Evans Bridge there going eastbound on 24. It's cranking up with more volume now coming out of Murfreesboro, Rutherford County on the interstate here on 24 westbound up through Antioch. Watch for radar I-40 in Wilson County, the Mount Juliet area especially. Hey, whether you need a new roof repair, or roof inspection, independent roofing specialists, these guys are the best here in Middle Tennessee. Check out irsroofs.com. I'm Commander Chuck with your on-time traffic.
Where a patient starts their cancer care matters. And here, that means Vanderbilt Ingram Cancer Center, Wilson County. It's Vanderbilt level care without making the drive to Nashville. From screening to diagnosis to treatment and recovery, patients can get all the care they need right here close to home. So now, having the best care team and most advanced treatment is closer than ever. Vanderbilt Ingram Cancer Center, making cancer care personal.
Are you facing a challenging time that you need help navigating? Well, look no further than your local law firm of Kane & Crowell. At the offices of Kane & Crowell, our team of experienced attorneys is here to guide you through every step of the process. With a proven track record of success and a commitment to our clients and our community, look no further than the team at Kane & Crowell to fight for your rights and provide representation you deserve. 615-784-4800.
We'll have partly cloudy skies today with a chance of thunderstorms continuing. Highs will be in the lower 80s. Mostly cloudy tonight, lows in the mid 60s. And then partly cloudy on Friday, just a slight chance of a thunderstorm. Highs in the mid 80s. This weather forecast brought to you by Walker Auction and Realty, professional auction and real estate services. Get top dollar for your home, land, or personal property. Log on to MikeWalkerAuctions.com. They know auctions. With your Severe View forecast, I'm Storm Specialist Drew Richards.
Well, we thank you for joining us and welcome to part 2 of Coleman and Company. Each Thursday at this time, we talk about A.G. & Johnson Realty and Auction, 728 West Main here in Lebanon. Jay White is with us today and has an auction to talk about, and then I'm sure some other things. Jay, good morning.
Good morning, Coleman.
Nice to have you today, and as always, we appreciate y'all being one of our advertisers. AGandJohnson.com is the website, and the phone number is 615-444-0909. But that's by me today. Helene is not here. You're by yourself.
I guess she's on special assignment, as we like to say, and she's on special assignment this morning. But
All
anyway.
right, let's talk about this big auction.
We do. Saturday morning, we're going down to Mount Juliet, down on the west side of the county. We've got a beautiful home down there. It needs some remodeling work done. But if you want to buy a nice home in a great established neighborhood down on the west side, just right next to Providence, just minutes from Providence, in a great location, come out and be with us. It sits on 2 acres. It sits on a 2 acre lot, which is very rare to find a nice home like this with that kind of a space to utilize down in that area. It has a full basement under it, plenty of room in the back for an addition to build any type of garages or sheds. There's no HOA in this area, so that's a plus for this community. But if you're interested down there, we're going to be down there at 10 o'clock. The home sales at 10. When we get through with the real estate, when after the home sales, we've got something just about for everybody. I mean, we have bulldozers, motorcycles, vehicles, backhoes, boats, just all types of different type of recreational vehicles and woodworking tools and mechanicing tools. So if you're interested in just about there's something there for just about anybody that enjoys the outdoors and any kind of activity outside. There's plenty of merchandise down there, and most of this is in top-notch shape, in good shape. So just come out and be with us. And on Saturday morning we'll be there. I hadn't planned to do anything else that day. We've even got some antique cars that we're going to sell down there. So we're going to know a '63 Thunderbird.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Well, I'm looking at your flyer there, and you've got so many things. That's an unusual back for a flyer, honestly, that you've got that many different things and pictures of things you're going to be selling.
That's true. There's lots of items down there. I think this is the first time we've ever sold a sawmill. We're selling they had one of these a portable sawmill down there that they've set up. That for their woodworking operation down there that they had, kind of a hobby. So, but he'd come out and be with us Saturday morning. We've got plenty of things down there to sell, and also a nice piece of real estate to sell. Then,
all right, now you got another one?
We do. Well, I'll just briefly talk about it on January the 27th. January. It's July the 27th. Next, the following Saturday, we're coming back to Lebanon. We do have a 5-acre track out on Rutledge Lane. If you're interested in viewing that, you're welcome to go out at any time between now and next Saturday. It's open for inspection daily. But if you're looking for an acreage track just right out north side, north of town, close to town, go out and take a look at that and be prepared on the 27th of July.
Well, that's this week and next week.
This week and next week.
And we don't get too far into the future, but you have one most weekends when it's warm weather.
We do. I mean, the weather's conducive for having outside auctions, and right now we're right in the middle of the summer. Right in the heart of the summer months, and we've got lots of things going on, and we're very appreciative to have that. But we're going to have some sales, on up through the fall.
Well, when you have something like this sawmill, do you no doubt have some idea of what that is worth? But you don't. It's an unusual commodity to be sold at auction, isn't it? Relatively unusual.
There's not a lot of them. You don't see a lot of them in people's backyards throughout the county, and there's been a tremendous amount of interest in it. I don't know what level it'll be when at the end of the day out there, but it's something that it's small enough that you can put into you can actually put this in your garage almost, but it'll cut a big log. I mean, they had several logs out there in inventory that when the first time we went out there. So I mean, it'll do a big job, do a good job. I'm excited to see where it ends up.
Yeah, well. It's about time that we normally close out your ad here, but my guest has not shown up, and I think we will go a little bit longer if you've got time. We can talk about all that you do, and a little bit later I'll call and see if he doesn't show up. We'll see if we can get him on the phone. But it is interesting how people get started or get involved in whatever their occupation becomes. And you have made, honestly, in the last few years, you've made quite a name for yourself, really, as you bought out A.G. and Johnson Realty and Auction. You got into this early on. But this is your professional life, and I think it's
been pretty good, hasn't it?
You know, it has. I've been very fortunate to be able to be born and raised here in Wilson County, and also spend my life working here in the county. Basically, the folks of Wilson County have been very kind and very good to us and to me and my family, and I appreciate that very much. And you know, being in the auction business has been a lifelong passion of mine. It's been a lifelong adventure. You know, I went from Mount Juliet High School right into working in this profession, and have been here ever since. And you know, I just turned 56 recently, and 56 recently, and you know, I've got about 36 years of experience in this business under my belt, and I can't say that every day's been a joy, but I've enjoyed every day that I've been in this business.
Well, you have had an opportunity to know Jim Agee and Jerry Johnson, who started this, and I think we've had a number of good real estate people, realtors, auctioneers, whatever, here over the years, and I've got to know at least a little bit about a lot of them, but they are two that certainly stand out, and here you are kind of, in a way, replacing them, although Jim is still active, but I mean, you own the business now.
Right. I was very fortunate early on to be able to get the opportunity to work with Jim and Jerry both. They're great mentors. You know, I was very, you know, to be able to have spent a lifetime working along beside those guys, it's been an honor. Let me tell you, it's been an honor.
Well, when we think of you and when we talk with you here, we talk mostly about auctions, but that's certainly not all you do. And when Helene is here, she always reminds us, hey, we've got a realtor for whatever you got in mind. If you don't want to have an auction, if you got something to get rid of, you can put it on the market. Of course, you have a lot of people, hopefully, that are looking for housing and land and real estate and this sort of thing.
We do. We have a great group of realtors that work with us here in town and work with us at Agee and Johnson that sell on the private side. We do list and sell a lot of homes, vacant lots, building residential lots, some acreage tracts. We've got somebody there that can fulfill just about every need that you might have if you're looking to buy, a personal home or an investment property. Up into, if you want an agricultural piece of property and even in the commercial side, we have some great folks with great expertise on the commercial side, here in the county and also in Davison.
MJ, if you will, get ready for the break. And Jay, before you go, just one more time, your two auctions real quickly here.
Yes, 902 Fredericksburg Road, Mount Juliet, just right off of South Mount Juliet Road, and then on the 20th, that's this Saturday, right. And then on Rutledge Lane next on July the 27th, 10 a.m.
All right. Well, thanks for being with us today. See you next time.
All right.
That's Jay White with Agee and Johnson Realty and Auction, 728 West Main, 615-444-0909. And now we'll take a break. This is Coleman and Company, FM 98.9.
And let's see what's happening on the roadways. Want to thank our friends at Bates Ford. Get that regular oil change, $39.95 up to 5 quarts oil. Tax and disposal, $17.80. Franklin Road. Now at traffic, here's Chuck.
Good morning. We do have a couple of accidents out here getting some attention, including that one and the 1400 block at Church Street. It's heavy now on Vietnam. Vets coming westbound out of Hendersonville, Sumner County, headed up towards Conference Drive as it continues to build in from Murfreesboro, Rutherford County on 24 going west up through Antioch. It's also gotten heavier now in the Mount Juliet area, westbound I-40. They're headed into Hermitage. Hey, Nash Painting, a non-franchise painting company, mentioned this ad. Get a 10% discount. Call Nash Painting today at 912-2288. I'm Commander Chuck with your on-time traffic.
Welcome to Hearthside Senior Living, Lebanon's unique senior living community designed for seniors to age in place, all within a safe, comfortable, and Christian environment. Beautiful retirement homes designed for an independent lifestyle with maintenance-free living. Hearthside Senior Living also continues the excellent tradition of assisted living for those seniors who need additional services. Hearthside Senior Living, an independent retirement community and assisted living community, all on one campus in the heart of Lebanon. Call 615-443-1994 for a tour.
And now, a moment of silence to remember our dear friend. Sorry. Oh, man.
Life can be uncomfortable. Your home doesn't have to be. With a wide range of air conditioners, furnaces, and heat pumps, Rheem makes it easy to feel comfortable, even when you can't be comfortable.
Financing available through TVA's Energy Right program and your local power company. Call Randy's Heat and Air 237-3604.
Coleman and Company right here on a Thursday morning, and I've got a few reminders for you, but wondering about my guest who has not made it this morning, and I'm trying to do a text and talk at the same time. Every once in a while somebody will ask, what do you do when a guest doesn't show up? And I've said several times, well, you improvise, and that's what we're trying to do right now. MJ, if you want to come in here and talk to me, it'll be all right, I guess. I'm not too good at doing two different things at the same time. I found that out a long time ago. But wanted to remind you, too, that the Lebanon Senior Citizen Center is gearing up for a yard sale on July 27th, 7 a.m. to 1 p.m. They need your support, and they ask you to consider donating your gently used household items, clothing, furniture, kitchenware, toys, and more. Every contribution counts, and your generosity directly benefits the senior community. You can drop off your donations at 670 Coles Ferry Parkway anytime. But remember, they can't accept books this time. Oh, please join them in making this event a success, giving back to those who have given so much, and thank you for making a difference. Well, that's one thing to talk about. Good morning, Em.
Well, good morning. It's like texting and driving. Don't text and do radio. It doesn't work out that way.
Well,
who is supposed to be on today?
Well, Tim.
Go ahead. Tim? Well, let me go call him.
Well, I
Did you try?
I just did that during the break, and that didn't work. I didn't. He wanted to leave a message. I thought a text would be better. I hope he's got my text.
I bet you $1 million right now that there are people in your audience that are reaching out and looking for him and going to get in touch with him. I bet he calls before 8 o'clock.
Well, if he calls, we will put him on. What's happening with you?
Well, I enjoyed your first segment. That was interesting. Paul Porter and that department does a great job. I enjoyed hearing them talk about the train. I was real disappointed when they quit doing the Friday night train. When I'd have visitors from out of state come, that was one of the things we would do, is ride the train into Nashville. And I like the idea of something on Saturday, too. So I hope that comes true. I hope that happens.
Well, you got any outstanding guests lined up? Every once in a while, you call somebody, especially in the 9 o'clock hour. You'll have somebody on. You've talked to people with the Oak Ridge Boys several times, and a lot of other artists that not necessarily somebody we would do here on Coleman and Company. Could, but that's not what the program's about. Yours is more about that sort of thing.
The entertainment side of it. And I'm glad you mentioned the Oak Ridge Boys. I was really taken back by the word of the passing of Joe Bonsall of the Oak Ridge Boys. And I was surprised to find out that it was complications of ALS that took him. And we had talked to all of the Oaks throughout the years, and Joe Bonsall, we talked to him earlier this year. And it was just prior to him retiring from the Oaks. And there's few that when it happens that I'm at a loss for words, and he was one of those that really got to me. Joe's a great, great guy, and it's a big loss.
Well,
and I will tell you, asked the question about who's going to be on my show. We do a promotion with the Grand Old Barn, Starstruck Farms, the old Reba McEntire property. We've been doing promotions with them each month, and they bring in songwriters, really amazing, top-notch songwriters. And they've got a show coming up on the 27th, and we'll be talking to Gordon Kennedy, who is a guitar player for Garth Brooks. He'll be our guest this Friday or next Friday.
Well, let's see who's on the telephone here. Tim Leeper, are you there?
I am here.
Well, good morning. And we may have gotten our wires crossed. I hope not. But I had you down for the second half today, and now we have you on the phone. So we can spend the next 12 minutes talking about Tim Leeper Roofing and Mama's Metal Roofing and whatever else you want to talk about.
That sounds good. If you can't get there on time, get there when you can, right?
Yeah, why not? Oh, anything in particular you're doing right now you want to talk about?
Well, I'm actually headed out to Fairview today. I've got a metal roof to measure up. We're going to try to install the roof next week. Of course, if we're going to install it next week, looks like we may have to have waders on. But, you know, that's the thing about Tennessee. You can look at the weather forecast one day, and then 48 hours later, it's completely changed.
Yeah, right. Well, you were here a few days ago, and we talked about this skeet shoot. I think I got that right. But anyway, the great fundraiser that is coming out here in a few days. But we didn't talk much about roofing. We've got plenty of time to make up for that and talk about roofing day. Of course, I know you were wanting to devote all that time for the subject at hand that day, but we need to talk about roofing a little bit to let people know too. You're still busy. You're taking care of your customers, and you do shingle roofing and metal roofing, and hopefully people have a little bit idea now of the two, and maybe some of the differences that are there. You want to go there this morning?
Sure. Yeah. No, we for the longest time, and for most of my career, I have had lots and lots of practice with shingle roof.
Yeah.
And now I have moved into the metal roof phase, and the metal roof phase is just, it's different for me because I have watched both metal and shingle roofs, and I have realized that while the vast majority of the general public chooses shingle roofs to do for their home, metal roofs, which were just a little bit more expensive, last about 3 times as long. And I have a hard time not at least telling people about metal roof opportunities whenever they are going to be putting so much money into the renovation of their home. Does that make sense?
Yeah, absolutely.
And so if I have $8,000 to spend on a roof, be it insurance or I'm having to come out of pocket, and that's what will get me a nice dimensional shingle. Or I can put a metal roof on for $10,000 and it lasts 3 times as long. I'm basically buying my next 2 roofs for $1,000 a piece in essence. And so it's just the best use of your money. It's best for your long-term investment, and it's really good for the resale value on houses as well. You know, metal roofs get a longer look from people who are looking for homes. I've been told that multiple times by multiple realtors, and I also look for that in a home. I look for something that's not going to cost me a lot of money to replace very soon down the road. So when I go look at houses, or people ask me to go look at roofs on houses, there's 2 things I'm looking for. I'm looking for the roof, and I'm looking for is the HVAC rusty and corroded on the outside, maybe look like it hadn't been taken care of, because those are 2 large expenses that I'm going to have.
Yeah, there's quite a bit to consider, I guess, but really, just listening to you in the last year or so and discussing the two, if I'm certainly leaning toward the metal roof, and if there's any way I can afford that, I think that would be the way I would go. And they can be quite attractive too. I guess there's some matching up to do with the color and so on that goes along with that if you want to look the very best. And most of us want our homes as nice as we can afford, but that's something to consider, right?
It absolutely is. And, you know, it's funny you say that about the matching, because we've never really talked a lot about that. But, you know, if you're going to put a roof on, you're going to want to match it, whether it be a shingle roof or a metal roof. And now, we've been putting metal roofs on two predominant type roofs, which were an ag panel, which is a screw-down panel, and you match it to the color of your trim or your gutters or your shutters or your door, whatever you want to match it to and kind of make it look nice. Or you do standing seam, which is more expensive. It lasts longer. It doesn't have the fasteners in it. Fasteners. And so there's nothing exposed to change out. And the maintenance is way less for the standing seam. But now, and I haven't told you this because it's something I wanted to talk about on this show, but now we have a hybrid roof.
Oh?
Now we have a hybrid roof of a screw-down panel that looks like a standing seam from the ground, but it does have fasteners in it. And you can see if you look hard enough, but traditionally, your ag screw-down panels, the ribs are very close together. They're every 9 inches you have a rib, and it keeps them from waving, right? Mm-hmm. Well, now they're making a panel that's just like a standing seam with 12-inch on-center ribs, so they're wider. They have the same striations, which means the panels kind of ripple up and down to make sure that those panels don't wave. And they even coat them with what they call a crinkle coating. So they kind of have a different coating and a different look than a standard screw-down agricultural panel. It's called the Wave panel, and they're amazing. I'm actually putting my first one on here in the next week or so in Lebanon. And so I think it's going to gain a lot of traction because it's not a lot more expensive than a standard agricultural panel. And when you compare the ag panel to the standing seam, traditionally they're about double. And so this is going to be a hybrid for just over what the ag panel cost is going to be. So I think it's going to be a big hit here in Lebanon.
Well, that's something for us to talk more about as time goes on, of course. And if it does become the success you're thinking it will, it may be something we talk about quite a bit.
Yeah, and next time I come in, we're going to do show and tell. And I know that not everybody can see it on the radio, but you'll be able to see it, describe it in your own eyes, what you're looking at. So I'll bring you a sample in there, and we'll look at the panel and the difference in the traditional panel and the difference in the wave panel, the wider ribs, the taller seams. It's just interesting how things evolve. Sometimes we talk about the evolution of products and is there any new applications or new product designs? And this is one. In the metal roofing, they don't see a lot of these, but this is something that's very new, and I do foresee this being a very popular product for the next several years.
Well, Tim, I'm sitting here thinking that regardless of which direction you go, which type of roof you choose, if it isn't installed correctly, if you don't have somebody who is very professional, who knows what they're doing and can do the job like it's supposed to be done, you still don't have a good job when the day is over. I think that's something you have prided yourself on. You insist on having people who not only know how to do it, but will do the job right and like they were doing it for themselves.
Yes, sir, that's true. When you put a new roof on, you want more than new roofing materials. What you want is, a craftsman to put them on where it's going to last. And so I tell people this all the time, and we've spoken about it in the past. I can get a monkey to put a screw in a piece of metal, put on top of your house. But what I can't get a monkey to do is think about how water works and how water is designed to shed and blow off of a roof. If I can get somebody to really put in the time and effort to understand how water flows and how to do flashing and properly put a roof on that way, then that's what's going to make it last. When we give a roof warranty, I give a 20-year warranty typically with all the roofs that we do. And depending on the type of product that you use and the components that get put into it, I will even go up to a 25-year workmanship warranty. Now think about that. If we put a 25-year workmanship warranty on it, and I put that roof on late this year, first next year, your warranty for workmanship is going to be good through 2050.
Wow.
Now, we don't think about terms of 2050, your warranty still being intact, but that's a long, long warranty. Most people's warranty are either 2 years, 5 years, or maybe 10 years. But we're doubling that and then some, depending on the components you're putting on your roof system.
Well, you've got a website, timleeperroofing.com and mamasmetalroofing.com, which people can find out a lot more information. And, of course, you're available. Everybody operates with their cell phone anymore. 615-372-4713, 372-4713. We've got about a minute to close it out.
Well, and, you talked about the website. We don't talk a lot about this, but I'll tell you, I've tried to make an easy button for people that are curious. Sometimes they don't want to call and have you come out and go through the trouble of setting an appointment and this, that, and other. So we have a contact us page on both of our websites, and basically you just fill your information out and you hit send, and we'll have a lady from the office call you and set up an appointment that works for your schedule right there on the phone. You don't have to say, well, hey, can I get a Thursday or can you come out Tuesday afternoon? We'll just ask you, hey, give us 3 good times that work for you, and we'll make one of them work for sure.
All right. Thanks for being with us today. We'll see you next time, and have a good one, Tim.
All right, thanks.
All right. Tim Leeper Roofing. That's Tim Leeper there, and that is it for Thursday, and I hope you'll join us tomorrow for Coleman & Company. Till then, I wish you a tremendous day.